Are you ready for a new beginning? With this energy of Aries here, present now, there is something in the air that invites us to something new, something just beyond the horizon, something to ignite us, to bring us forward. And yet I've noticed for myself that I've been slow to get going this year. I've really enjoyed being in hibernation and taking care of myself. And it's almost as though I feel like I've got one foot on the gas and one foot on the brakes. Do you feel like that too? I've talked to several people, and this seems to be a common sentiment. And today I was feeling a little bit more like my foot on the gas was ready to go. And I noticed that part of me that wanted to put on the brakes, and I sat with it and I thought, what is this about? Besides the energy and the planets and the way that they've been moving, but in me, why am I putting on the brakes still? And what came to me was that there was a fear around starting again, beginning again, getting revved up to go out, to charge forth, to do my thing, to show up bravely and boldly. Because in the past, when I did that, I forgot about taking care of my body. That my body became the last thing on my to-do list. Whereas in the past few months, it's been the first thing, and I've really enjoyed it. And it's helped me really attain a goal of sacred self-care in a way that I had only dreamt of in the past. And so as we step forward, and after identifying this fear that lives in me, I began to kind of muse on the both and. Like, how can I both want to move forward and recognize that I have this fear and still move forward anyway? And the solution that came to me was thinking about creating in a new way, creating structures that support me in a new way, creating structures that are aligned and in integrity with my body, my heart, and my soul. And as I pondered this, the word tensegrity popped up in my mind. I looked it up on Google. It's a word that I knew from the past, but I needed a little refresher. And of course, I discovered it was a word coined by the brilliant Buckminster Fuller. And tensegrity is a combination of the words tension and integrity. So what is tensegrity? Well, tensegrity is shape that is maintained, structures that are maintained by tension, not by rigidity, not by rigid form and compression. So, for example, a house is built in the structure using compression because it's one brick on top of the other, one piece of wood on top of the other. And so it becomes very solid and rigid, but it doesn't do very well with change. And the opposite, or another way of looking at this, is tensegrity, which is shaped, maintained by tension. An image that models this is a suspension bridge. It is maintained, that solid shape is created through tensegrity, tension and integrity. The tension creates the integrity across the whole body of the bridge. Even our body is a model of tensegrity. Our bones are not stacked onto each other, compressed onto one another. Instead, they're held together by muscles and fascia. And so our body really is a model of a new kind of structure that might do a little bit better with change. Now, of course, in the body, when there is tension in any part of the body, it can affect other parts of the body. And I have a little story to share about that to kind of illustrate how this model of tensegrity, of tension and integrity, has been something that I've been contemplating now for about a year. So, about a year ago, I developed a really bad case of TMJ. That's a misalignment of the jaw. And besides being painful, especially at first, it also affected my ability to speak, the time that I could speak. And of course, as a speaker and a coach and a mentor, that really affected my ability to do my work. And so in the beginning, I took a little time off. I took some ibuprofen, some ice bottles, and it started to get better. And I thought, oh, okay, it's getting better. I'll just live with it and it'll get better on its own. Well, after a while, I decided to seek support because I had a big online event coming up in the fall. And so I went to a chiropractor who invited me to also see a masseuse. And from there, I began to learn how this problem with my jaw was really rooted and connected to my hips. And so, this model of tensegrity in my body was beginning to get activated. And then I was learning how this was really connected to other areas of my body that I had been ignoring. And so during the fall, I took time and I made more time and made my body a priority by not only continuing with these therapies, but also beginning to work out, because I noticed the more I stretched and worked out, I felt better. And it even came to the point where I couldn't believe that my regular Saturday workout became the highlight of my week. So things were beginning to change as this tension of my TMJ initiated an awakening inside of me. A few months ago, and after the holidays, I had kind of slacked off on my routines. And I had a big in-person event where I had to do some teaching and talking. And all went well, but toward the end of the evening, I noticed how my jaw was hurting. I noticed how some people couldn't understand me. And I just thought to myself, wow, I really need to recommit to this, because I do not want this. I do not choose this. I do not want this in my life anymore. It's not something that I want to learn to live with. And so I decided to make a wish at the new moon and to ask for complete healing of this in my life. And to be in partnership with that healing, I wrote a list of all the actions that I thought that I could do in order to help me heal. And I began to spend time, money, energy on giving my body even more healing that I had in the past. And now things have gotten much better, and I'm still on that healing journey. But at this moment, what I see as I contemplate tensegrity and the structures that I've created over the past 6 months regarding my self-care and my body, I can see how this TMJ has actually been a blessing in my life, because it really has forced me to align with what I really want from within. This old desire that I had of honoring my body first, of really taking care of myself, that I had for years. And yet in my busyness and my desire to create and to offer my work into the world, I often forgot about my body. But this TMJ affected exactly the part of my body that I needed to do my job. And so it forced me to slow down. It also has helped me to learn how to continue to really check in with what I want and to fearlessly say, I don't want this anymore. I'm done with it. and I will do what it takes in order to heal myself. No more sort of half-hearted, I'm just going to live with it. I'll just wait till it gets better. And again, this whole concept of tension and integrity, like this tension that I've had regarding this over the last year, I feel has brought me into a greater integrity regarding what I want, both in my desire to honor my self-care and also to be able to balance my life, my health, my work, and to come into balance. And so I wanted to offer this as a musing today because we are coming into a Libra full moon. And Libra is all about balance and harmony and beauty and peace and love, ruled by Venus, right? So I'm wondering, have you been feeling any of this? Have you been feeling out of balance? And if so, if my story and musing on Tensegrity might help you to create a new structure, a new way forward, to inspire you to not be afraid like I was before I identified the fear that, oh no, I can't go back to the way I used to be because I don't want to forget how to honor my body, my sacred self-care. I want that to remain a priority. And I've had to let go of the fear that if I go forward into my work again, that I will forget. So that is the tension that's living in me in this moment. And yet I feel that through exploring this and really allowing the tension to be present, it can help bring us into integrity as to what is truly out of balance and what is the harmony that we wish to create in our lives. So, as we move into this full moon, I invite you to consider coming into balance in your own life in a deeper way. And perhaps you can start with this wonderful model of tensegrity that we have, which is our bodies, and simply take a breath, check in with your body, and ask your body, what's in need of your attention in this moment? Just listen in or feel, or maybe a thought comes regarding a specific area of your body. And wherever that is, go ahead and place your awareness or a hand at that area of your body and ask, what do you need? Allow the information to come forward as to what this part of your body needs. And it may come forward in a message that you completely understand, or maybe it comes forward in a symbol or a color that you don't understand, and just receive it. Trust in the wisdom of your body. And as you go through the rest of this moon cycle, take this gift of balance at the full moon and bring into your contemplation how you might create a structure that would bring more balance to this part of your body and thus to your life as a whole. Perhaps it's a new practice, a new habit. Perhaps it's some information, a new kind of structure. And again, a structure that is not rigid and compressed, but that can move with the changes that your body undergoes on a daily basis and the changes that we undergo as we move through life in a world that is rapidly changing. Allow tension and integrity, tensegrity, to be an ally that helps you come into greater integrity with your body, with your soul, and with your dreams.